Welcome back to Kaulignation, your one-stop shop for all things Kaulig Racing, Dingernation, SVGNation, and more. I'm Sean. Thank you for taking a few minutes out of your hump day or hump night to chat some NASCAR with us. Our multiple choice question for this video is, are you surprised that Daniel Suarez is out at Trackhouse Racing? Comment down below yes or no and share your thoughts there. We will be talking about SVG and Connor Zilisch towards the end of this video. Ryan and I are also meeting later today to do videos for Thursday and Friday, so stay tuned for that. First up, though, is part 3 of our Mike Cook interview. There will be 4 or 5 parts in total, but this is a short little part focusing on the Kaulig Racing third driver for this weekend and the number 13 Chevrolet V8 Supercar 2024 champion, Mr. Will Brown.
Well, in a couple of weekends here, I might be a little off on the time, but you're going to be a 3-car team at Chicago. Right. And unless we have our information wrong, we believe it's you that's going to be on the pit box.
Yes, sir.
How excited are you to work with Will Brown? Have you had a chance to speak with him yet? And do you think that, I know he's raced some NASCAR before. I believe he tried Chicago last year and maybe somewhere else the year before. Do you think he has the opportunity to, maybe not the same level of success, but transition the way SVG is, or is it more of a one-off opportunity with him and you guys?
He went to Sonoma last year with RCR, and he was actually I think he was first in practice. And then they had a mechanical issue that really killed the race. And so bringing him back, I feel like Chicago is actually probably even a better fit than Sonoma for him. But I am really excited because, I mean, he's an amazing driver. And so it's going to be an exciting opportunity. I mean, I'm excited about getting on the pit box. It's kind of always been on my bucket list. Things I'd like to do, but I honestly like the role I'm in. I didn't do this role because I wanted to be a crew chief, and that wasn't available. This fits my skill set really well, like managing the team and from a technical side. But it would be fun. When I first came here, Chris said, "Hey, there's going to be a couple opportunities, a crew chief, third car. We don't really know all the details yet." And I was like, "Well, that'll be, a really fun opportunity." So we've been emailing back and forth. He's obviously in Australia, so there's a big time gap. And so we've been communicating quite a bit, and we have his car built already for Chicago, and he'll be here next Thursday. And so we're going to work on quite a bit of simulation and, obviously getting his car ready, his seat in the right spot, pedals adjusted, just all the little details that you kind of take for granted when you do run the same drivers every week. And so, yeah, pretty excited about that. I'm not sure what he has in store for his future, if he wants to do this more, but hopefully we have some success like SVG has had. That would be amazing. And it's really hard. I worked a lot with Joey Hand last couple of years on the Ford side, and Joey is a great person, amazing driver, and he raced quite a bit of races for Ford and was supported by Trackhouse Racing, and it really took him a lot of seat time to kind of get acclimated to the NASCAR side of things. He could drive a car fast, but the racing element is a challenge, I think, for a lot of people coming into our sport. You don't get a lot of respect from the, normal drivers, standard. And so it's always an uphill battle when you come in and try to race NASCAR and you're not racing every week. But if you have a great skill set, and Will Brown does, hopefully you get out front and stay in the front, stay out of trouble, and have a good weekend. So, yeah.
All right. Thanks, as always, to Mike for taking the time to sit down with us and teach us some things about what's going on with not just Kaulig, but NASCAR in general. In this case, Will Brown, and providing some great perspective on that. But now we turn our attention to the big news that came out yesterday. Daniel Suarez, despite saying he wouldn't know what's going on with his future for a couple of months, is officially out at Trackhouse Racing. The two have agreed to mutually part ways. And Ryan and I are going to talk about in tomorrow's video, or Friday's, I don't know which day it's going to release, where we think he could end up and what one's more likely. There are a couple of cup possibilities, not just the Kaulig 10. And then there's an Xfinity possibility that would be very attractive to him, and we'll talk about that. But that also means SVG is locked into that number 88 Trackhouse Racing Chevrolet for next year, which I know we've been waiting for a while on confirmation for that. That will happen. And the other thing that's obviously happened is Mr. Connor Zilisch will move up. Now, will he drive the 87 or the 99? I would assume he would drive the 99, but you never know. But I spoke with someone today who has some feelers in the NASCAR garage, and he's been on this channel before, but I didn't ask for permission to be quoted, so I'm gonna keep his name private. And he basically said there was a lot of sponsor pressure to get Connor Zilisch into a cup ride next season. I think in a perfect world, Trackhouse would have liked to keep Connor Zilisch at Junior Motorsports next season. And then it gives them another year with Daniel Suarez, because obviously Suarez brings money. That money is not an issue for Suarez, but this is how things ended up turning out. So a lot of pressure on Trackhouse from sponsors to get Zilisch into a cup ride. On top of that, though, it's very possible Connor could have ended up being poached by another team. What this means is you have one hell of a trio for Trackhouse next season, and it could be, in fact, their last season at Chevrolet, which we'll talk about in another video. We'll see if that comes to pass. But you have Ross Chastain, SVG, and Connor Zilisch. Ross Chastain is going to be leaned on heavily to be the veteran leader. SVG, as we've seen, has shown growth on ovals and will only continue to improve. And Connor Zilisch, I'm really excited to see what this kid does. I genuinely like him, and boy, they're going to be a nightmare on road courses. What do you think about this news? Are you relieved that you now know 100% what SVG is doing in 2026? Let us know down below how you feel about this whole situation and our interview with Mike Cook about Will Brown for this upcoming weekend's Chicago race. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, turn notifications to all. Big shout out to our channel sponsor, Lynn, over at SVGNation. Check them out, and we will see you. Pardon me. We will see you in the next video.